So what can you say about the GTA story? It's something that I'm sure everyone is familiar with, but it still has me coming back and looking at it again and again, even ahead of the forthcoming expanded and enhanced version. I know we're going to see lots of things added, maybe not so many things added to the game according to mixed reports, but there are things that I really find amazing about the GTA story and the GTA 5 story mode. It's really a compelling journey. If you're interested in any kind of Hollywood 90s cult films, this game is full of references that hark back to some of the films that came out in the mid 80s right the way through to the mid 2000s. And really, Rockstar are very good at playing homage to all of these different things. The story of Michael DeSanta and how he had to fake his own death and then become this kind of family man and was pulled back into the criminal underworld as a way of paying for some of the mistakes that his family had made, and his connection with Franklin, a young kind of urban street kid who he saw something in, some promise. Now, I've played through the story mode a few times, and it always gets to the point where, okay, so we've done a heist together, and if you're familiar with GTAOnline, then you will be familiar with the way that the heists work, and okay, fantastic, what now? And I remember being really hooked at this point, by this point in the game, and then they throw in Trevor Phillips. What can you say about this guy? A very complicated character, very psychotic, very difficult to sort of understand his motives with everything that he does. Most of the time he just appears completely crazy, but there is more to it. There's so many layers to these characters, and when Trevor appears in the story mode, you find yourself almost looking at a completely different game. It's almost like, oh right, so this game is even bigger than I thought, because most of what you've been doing up to this point, you've been in the city, and you've been either interacting with Franklin's local area where he lives, or where Michael lives, and in and out of the city centre. All of a sudden, you're out in the sticks, and there you are driving around in a beat up old red truck, taking on the Lost MC. Now, if you know, again, all of this stuff seems like it's so familiar because it's a big part of GTAOnline. But really, this was the first time that you come across the Lost MC in GTA 5. And this interaction with them, Trevor trying to take over and really wipe out all of his competitors in the weapons and drug smuggling businesses. This is such a cool way to introduce a character. You almost forget completely about Michael and Franklin and the heist. All of a sudden, there you are, living and breathing as Trevor Phillips. But he, of course, saw Michael on the TV because of the heist that you've done. A very clever, well thought out story. He now realizes that this guy that he buried, his best friend, is suddenly living and breathing. And I think at this point, he's not really sure 100%. Is it Michael that is alive, or is someone pretending to be him and maybe using the money that Michael left behind? Either way, he wants to now head to Los Santos. But before you do that, it's all about wiping out all of the different factions around everything really south of the mountains and in the middle of the map. This is Trevor's domain, and these are the characters and his little industry that he's already created. Of course, it's very early on in the infant stages, and we meet the Chang family, and he's trying to set things up with them. And of course, we meet Chef, who is his cook. So he has little businesses that are in need of growth. And when you can start interacting with this character at this stage in the game, you can really start to begin buying businesses for these story characters and creating your own little empire within the game. And it's very much up to you which ones you purchase and which businesses you want to go for your chosen character. And you can switch between the three main story characters. We're going to have a look at what Trevor gets up to after he's purchased his first business. For now, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll be back next time.